Welcome to my first recorded live stream. I did a live stream last week and had the wrong setting on there, so it didn't record. C'est la vie. It was good practice. It was good stuff. I'm sure this will be good stuff too. I have no doubt. Good stuff is good stuff and attracts more good stuff. And that's the whole point of this conversation, ongoing conversation we're going to have. We are talking about manifesting bliss. Name of the channel, name of the theme, concept for great living. We want to be in charge of how we feel and what shows up in our life. We want to be in charge of our life, our destiny. Humans want to feel like they have control, and you do. You have control over what you think and what you feel at any given moment in your life, any second of your day, and you can start it over again. So a lot of people that I've been talking to in my little circle of influence, my life, have been talking about feeling like they want more. And some people get a little frustrated by life, a little overwhelmed, and they feel uncomfortable. They want things to be easy and comfortable. And here's the funniest thing. That's exactly what life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be easy and comfortable and relaxed and make you feel happy and blissful. And you're supposed to go with the flow. Here's the funniest part. The only thing standing in your way of your life being easy and comfortable is you. I know. It's a bummer. And you're probably thinking, okay, what do I do to get out of my own way? So when you are speaking, listen to yourself and the thoughts that are going on in your mind, pay attention to them. If you are arguing with yourself about your own reasons why you can't have what you want, you can't be what you want to be, you can't go where you want to go, then that's where we start. Usually, the number one excuse is, I don't have the money. I don't have enough money to live the way I want to, go where I want to, do what I want to, and be the kind of person I want to be. That is starting at the end and trying to get there from where you are right now. And you're trying to leap into the version of yourself who already has the money. Well, if you already had the money, you wouldn't be complaining. You'd already have all the stuff you want. You would already be traveling. You'd already feel the way you would feel if you had all that stuff. And you were doing all those things, right? The only thing you have control over is leaping into the way that would feel. That's it. The rest of it needs time to show up based on how you feel and how long you can sustain that feeling consistently. Now, here's what tripped me up. When I was starting this process 2 years ago, I didn't know what to focus on to hold that feeling of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to have. I didn't know it was as simple as just feel good right now. Figure out a way to feel good in this moment. I kept trying to visualize what it would be like to have the money I wanted to have and do the things I wanted to do. So looking back on that now, it doesn't make any sense because I have no idea what a larger sum of money flowing into my account is going to feel like. I know what one lump sum feels like. It feels like a jackpot. I just won something. Here's a lump sum of cash, and now I'm going to go spend it. I know what that feels like. What I don't know how to feel is how to feel consistently good about where I'm at right now. So that's been difficult, and that's been the challenge. And now it's easy. It's getting easier and easier every day to feel good about where I am today. So instead of trying to project myself into a vision of the future that I didn't believe, so I kept rejecting it. I would meditate and visualize and do what I was supposed to do and think about like walking around the rooms of my house and or being on a beach vacation with my husband or driving a fancier car than I'm perfectly happy with my car, so I don't want a fancier car. So that would feel false. I couldn't believe that I could take time off from my very busy schedule to go to the beach and enjoy a vacation, let alone how to pay for it. So then I would pop out of that vision because the suspension of disbelief was ruined. It was like watching a movie and going, oh, that would never happen. Psh, I don't believe that. And then the movie has no charm anymore. It has no pull on your emotions because you don't believe it. This brings up a really good point. Movies and music and streaming shows and even YouTube, which I use a lot to get my head into the right space and get my feelings in the right place. Anything that makes you feel the way you want to feel is good. That's going to get you to where you want to be. Here's the trick about movies, though. If you're watching, say you want a relationship, you want to fall in love, and you want to feel true love. If you constantly watch romantic comedies or romances or romantic dramas, anything that has to do with romance, and you're starting to feel, oh, I wish I could have that, I want that, then you're not feeling it right now. You're not feeling that sort of love for yourself or within yourself. You're feeling it outside of yourself as something you're reaching for, something you're grasping at, something you want desperately, and you're feeling the lack of it. So if you continue to watch movies and watch media that make you feel small and disconnected and lonely and separated from what you want and like you'll never have it, guess what you're creating? You will never have it. Let's put it bluntly. You will never have what you say you will never have. You will never have what you believe you will never have. It's that simple. It's difficult to take your mind and your feelings from a place of putting yourself down, keeping yourself in a box, keeping yourself low, and controlling yourself downward so that you can please other people. So you think? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You have reasons for why you're doing this. You're scared. Scared of the unknown, scared of losing control, scared of what ifs, even scared of success because then demands will be made of you. You might be even busier. There's a lot of fear that comes along with success if you're focusing on fear, if you're practicing the vibration of fear. Fear is a learned habit. It can be momentary to keep you out of danger, or it can be habitual. So, my husband and I went downtown and we were in a parking garage and we went up one level. We're going down the hallway and we're trying to get to the outside level. And I open a door and I hear someone yelling really loudly and aggressively. And it was very intense and it should be scary. It should be like panic. And all I felt was, oops, I opened the wrong door. This is not a universe and not a dimension that I belong to. This is not for me. And so I just closed the door gently, quietly. Didn't want to bring attention to myself, but closed the door and walked down the hall, found another door that was a peaceful, happy door. And when I opened it, I could see sunshine and I ascended and I walked up those stairs out into a beautiful, fresh, gorgeous day, gorgeous spring day. And life was perfect. And The person who had been so upset somewhere in the cavernous underground, uh, mystery door, nowhere near me, nowhere around me. So that is how you have to treat your mind, your emotions, your choices, and your life. If you open the wrong door in here, it will let feelings into here that solidify a belief in here, and that now you see there's a cycle. If you choose to open the wrong door and look at the wrong thing and believe the wrong thing, and I'm not saying it's a wrong, oh, let me clarify because you're going to get me on this. It's the wrong thing for the feeling you are desiring and the outcome that you're desiring. That's what I mean by the wrong thing. So if you're focusing on what you don't want, which is more of that negativity, more of the lack, and you're not focusing on what you do want and how it'll feel to have that, you keep opening the wrong door, getting scared, anxious, nervous, depressed, putting yourself down, feeling not worthy, feeling not good enough. If you keep reinforcing those thoughts and feelings and keep locked into that loop, you're keeping that door open. And then it's worse. You're walking through it. And then it's worse. You're in that space where people are allowed to abuse you because you're abusing yourself. It starts with you and it ends with you. So don't blame anyone else. It's a radical concept. It makes people angry. They so want to blame others for what happens in this world. They want to blame others. Why are you looking at it? Did it directly happen to you? Well, then why are you looking at it? Did it happen to somebody else? Why are you looking at it? The more we look at the bad things that happen to other people and ourselves, the more bad things we're going to attract. And again, here's where you're going to try and get me. I am not saying that we can control every single thing in our life. I am saying life will happen. That is true. But don't you want to control as much of it as you can? If you can control 99% of life and then that 1%, surprises you, if you get on a positive momentum, that 1% is going to surprise you for the better. It's going to be a good surprise. Now, will people die? Yes. So that 1% sometimes will be sad, depending on who died. I don't mean to be tacky, but that's true. Let's not lie here, okay? The only way we're going to make breakthroughs is if you have epiphanous moments of realization, and sometimes you're happy when someone dies. Think about it. It's happened. And if it hasn't, it will. It's just natural. Don't think that you always have to be sad when someone dies. You can be neutral. You can feel like you have a belief system where they're in a better place. They're free. They pass through to a different dimension, and you can still have a relationship with them, but you just can't give them a hug, physical hug, while you're in this body, and they're not in a body. There's lots of different belief systems, so make room for more, right? So one of the things that I've been interested in is when people say I can change my belief systems. I can just change my belief. I can just change my mind and change my belief, and that will free me and change my emotional stance, and my belief system will affect my emotions. And it's true. It is absolutely true. So that is the bottom line to getting what you want, manifesting your life exactly the way you want it to be, manifesting your bliss. The word bliss is very interesting. It is a sustained happiness. It is joy. It is the feeling of effervescent bubbles inside of you that tingle and make you feel very special, very loved, very precious. And you kind of lose your sense of time and space, and you're locked into the moment. And what you are thinking and feeling and doing is aligned with a higher source that we are all a part of. And I'll give you this wonderful metaphor that I always think of. If I am floating in the ocean I know I'm in the ocean. If I'm a part of the ocean, I don't know I'm the ocean. And if I'm floating in the ocean and I'm aware of the ocean and I pick up the ocean right here, I scoop it up with my hand, the ocean is now in my hand. It is a small portion of the larger ocean, it is a small part of the ocean. It is still elementally, chemically, according to physics and chemistry and all science, this is still the ocean. It's just a little bit of it in my hand. And then if I return it to the ocean, it is still the ocean. That's us. Each individual person is source, just a small portion of source with an ego attached and a personality. And all of these work together to make each of us an individual, but we're all connected. We are all connected to source, and we are all connected to one another, and we are all sending radio waves. Let's call them radio waves, but we're all sending vibrations out to one another, and we're receiving them from one another like the good little transmitters we are. So our cell phone is not the only thing sending out a signal. Our radio is not the only thing. Whether it's a regular old FM, AM, or XM, doesn't matter. There's light waves, there's sound waves. You know they pass through things because you couldn't hear things that are outside of your house and your room and through your window if sound waves couldn't go through walls. The cell phone you're using couldn't reach the satellite and ping the tower and do everything it does if it couldn't travel through walls. So obviously, we are surrounded by vibrations and frequencies and waves, and we interact with them constantly, and we emit them. Even magnetism, we're made as full of electricity, so we're emitting electrical signals, waves and frequencies of energy just by living. Just our heart beating emits an electrical pulse. Our mind emits electrical pulses. We can't help it. So if we're made up of electric pulses, of vibrations and energy, and we discipline ourselves, eventually we're going to come into alignment with who we really are, what we really want, and we're going to have what we're meant to have because of who we are inside and how we're thinking and feeling. When everything is in alignment, it's easy and comfortable because you're going with the flow. So we're right back where we started this conversation. And I want you to remember that if you're feeling far away from home, you're feeling far outside of yourself, if you're feeling out of control, bring it all back in, because Dorothy said it best. There's no place like home. It's right here. She had the power the whole time. You have the power the whole time. It's always in you. Now you might be asking me, that sounds great, and those words are very pretty, but how do I get there? What do I do? You're going to need to learn how to quiet your mind, quiet the thoughts so you can control them. And there's only really one way of doing that, and that's through awareness of the present moment and awareness of self. The easiest way to get to that awareness is through meditation. Learning how to meditate will be a process, and we're going to go over that process here and on my YouTube channel. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to definitely be worth practicing how to focus your attention, how to bring your attention to yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your feelings, your actions, your habits. Bringing that to the surface is going to be very helpful. And then learning how to control it. That's what will get you what you want. So if you want to feel better, we're going to start with meditation. If you want to manifest abundance, we're going to start with meditation. If you want the love of your life to walk into your life, your frame of view, and be thunderstruck and fall in love, we're going to start with meditation. Simple as that. Exercise helps and can be incorporated to link up with meditation, but it doesn't have to. So don't think that you have to do some yoga practice or start some exercise routine. It's just simple breathing techniques and awareness. And it's going to grow over time. You're going to get used to it. You're going to get better at it. For today, all I want you to do is listen to your breathing. That's it. Day 1, listen to your breathing. Nothing more important than that. That's a great breath, right? It's a very obvious breath. And you can't breathe like that all day. You'll pass out. So it's also annoying. Can't talk, can't eat, can't do anything. So that's also not what I'm talking about. We'll get to that. We'll get to the formal breathing exercises and formal meditations. But for now, this is all I want you to do. When you're breathing, just listen. That's it. Normal breath. Yep, I'm breathing. That's me. That's my breath. My lungs are filling with air. That feels pretty good. Wow, that's really calming. Maybe I will take a deeper breath. Maybe I was a little stressed. You know what? Maybe I'm a little tired. Maybe I should take a break. Drink some water. Maybe I should relax. Have a little fun. Go to bed early tonight. You see what I mean? It's hard to be totally stressed out or angry when all you're doing is listening to yourself breathe. It's pretty easy. Some people like to sit down in a comfortable chair where it's quiet, listen to their heartbeat, or lay in bed, listen to their heart beating. I find that a little distracting, and then I'm really hyper conscious about my heart beating. So I don't actually like that. I prefer just listening to my breath, just feeling myself breathing. And that works for me. It brings me back to the present moment. It makes me conscious and aware of my body and my thoughts and my feelings. So there you go. That is all we're going to do for today. You can look back on this recording on my YouTube channel, and I'll figure that out and get a link on there for you. But my goal is to do this once a day and build on it. And I have some pre-recorded things to share with you as well. And eventually I'll have some worksheets and who knows what else, right? We'll just grow and build together. I've got some great ideas, and I'm going to take it easy and do a little bit at a time. I would like to be a good example of what I'm telling you to try, right? So I'm going to do it. You can try it. You can talk with me and feedback to me, and we can do this together and see how all of this is going to be. So until next time, be well.